Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now, from previous pieces of content you've probably heard me say on many of occasions that I am a Candela over lumens kind of person. I much prefer throw over spread. So Olight got in touch and said, well, what if you could have the best of both worlds? Something that was a thrower, but also had the option to have that spread. And I was like, okay, hit me up. So they've sent me one of the Marauder Minis, and yeah, really impressed with this for such a small light. It's absolutely jam-packed full of features, which we will have a look at now. Now with the Marauder Mini there is a lot to go through because there are so many different features on here. I'm going to hold this up to the camera for now, so if you want to pause this, obviously you can have a look through all of the different bits on here. But as you can see, the floodlight, the spotlight, each of them has 7 different levels, and then you've got the red, green and blue lights, which each of them have 4 different levels. So I'll go through just the normal kind of specs for this, and then we'll have a look at more of how it works in the dark rather than me talking about it here and then we have a short time about it in the dark. So lengthwise, from the end where you have a nice kind of crinkled tactical bezel all the way through to the end where you have the magnetic charging port, it comes in at 133 millimeters, which is just over 5 inches. It's a reasonably thick boy, to be fair. I think the kids would call this a chode. I believe that's the right term for it. So the head, which is the widest on here, is 65 millimeters. Now it's made from the same 6061 T6 aluminium, so they have been able to reduce some weight on this, but it's still going to be reasonably heavy. It's one of these kind of Coke can sized mini powerhouses, and it comes in at 480. I had to just triple check my notes there. 462, sorry, not 482 notes. It's powered from the bottom here. There is a magnetic charger on this, and when you unscrew the bottom, there's a lot to unscrew. On the inside is one of Olight's 32650 batteries. This thing's huge, 6,500 milliamp hours. It is one of their proprietary ones, so unfortunately other batteries won't work with this. When it seats into here, it does seat just off center. The main reason for that is along the barrel of the light here itself there are some controls. If I screw this back on, now when you screw it back on you can't hear that, but there's a little haptic vibration motor in here, so as it unscrews and then retightens again, there's a point where it just does this little kind of vibrate so that you know that it's actually connected and that it's working. As far as the business end, here is the business end, and there's quite a lot in here. So you have a throwing section. This is where you get that long distance beam from it. I think it's up to 600 meters that you can get from this. And then around the outside is an additional array, and these lights are used for the floodlight. But you also have a red, a green and a blue light on here as well. So when it's using the floodlight, it's using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these LEDs. And then the other 3 LEDs around there are specifically for the specific lights that they emit. When to actually use this, so each, especially with the, so to turn it on, first thing that you have to do as part of almost like a safety on here is you have this jog dial. So you have to move the jog dial for a quarter of a turn and then press it, and that will then turn it on. To turn it off, you then press it again and it will turn off. So let's turn that back on again to get through the different modes. So at the moment this is the spotlight mode. You can then do a long press and then it will take you to red, green and blue, and then eventually you'll get back round to the spotlight. If you want to change between the spotlight to the floodlight, you'll see that we have spotlight and floodlight. You flick the switch and you'll be able to see it changes it again. With the changing it between those really just affects this white light. If I then do another long press, you'll see that it goes red, green, and then it cycles back to blue. Click it again and it will turn off. You also have some additional indicators on here. So here on the right hand side you'll be able to see exactly how much battery you have, whereas here on the left hand side you can see the different lumen levels that you're using. So it actually has 7 levels. So you have level 7, which is the highest, and then you can see 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is its lowest. And this is what I mean about really kind of checking these in the dark. So I think what we'll do now is let's actually have a look at how this performs and those different 7 levels that you have for the different areas of luminosity with this light. So sun has definitely gone down, and I thought we'd come out into the woods rather than down by the fishing lake so that we can have a look. Maybe I'll stop off in the fishing lake on the way home. So as previously mentioned, with the Marauder Mini, you've got the option to very easily be able to switch between the floodlight and the spotlight, just like this. But as also mentioned, so I'm just showing you the jog dial on here. You've got the 7 different levels that you can see around the left-hand side here. So with the floodlight, from level 1 to level 7 goes from 100 lumens, 200 lumens, 400 lumens, 800 lumens, 1600 lumens, 3200 lumens, and then all the way up to your 7000 lumens, and it's just an absolute beast. Oh, Norman, what are you doing? So again, just cycling through these. So on its lowest setting of 100 lumens, it's perfect for this, for walking the dog in the woods. I can see where I'm walking with ease, but again, just cycling through these. So if I go in this direction, so let's see that this tree here that's kind of roughly in the middle. So that tree is probably about 20, yeah, I'd say about 20 meters away. So going up through these from 100 all the way up to 7000 lumens. You can see just how much this thing throws out. Again, if we turn around and maybe look here into the canopy, let's go back down. So this tree here, which is my closest, about 5 or 6 meters away, the canopy is probably about 10 meters away. Over here into the distance, now going up and down the levels with this, from 100 lumens all the way up to the maximum of 7,000 lumens. Did I say 9,000 before? I'm sure I said 7,000. Anyway, I'm probably getting a bit mad. But yes, there you go. Absolutely throws out so much light in this floodlight option that you have on here. Just to give you a quick idea, now we've come out a little bit further into the woods now. See all of these beautiful tall trees. So we're on the floodlight on its highest setting. Yeah, you really can see just how much this pushes out. But as previously mentioned, so it's not just the floodlight, there is also the spotlight on this as well, that you can easily switch between the two. So we've now got the spotlight turned on, and similar before, so if I just turn this up, hopefully you can see we have you've got the jog dial on there. There are 7 different levels with this. With the spotlight on its lowest level, it is 500 lumens. Oh, just looking at my thumb right. And then going up through the different levels, it then goes to 50 lumens, to 200 lumens, 300 lumens, 500, 700, and then 900, which is the top. So being able to see through there now, just look how far. So this is potentially up to 600 meters, and you can definitely get that with this. If you're trying to search something specifically with this, just hold it up over here above the camera. Then you can just see how well this works as a spotlight. Let's go back. So again, just going through the different luminosity levels mentioned with the spotlight, because you just have that single LED in the middle. Its lowest lumen level is 50 lumens, and then again just ramping this up through the 7 different levels. The highest one that you can get from this is 900 lumens. Now with the other RGB colours on here, rather than having 7 levels, these have 4 levels. So at the moment, this is on red. Hopefully you can see that it's red. And we're in its top lumens, which is 200 lumens. But then we can go back down, all the way down to its lowest setting, which is just 50 lumens. Let's take it back up to its top setting. So pretty good. Again, if you're wanting to preserve your night vision, or maybe there are creatures out there that you know it's useful to use red light. Do another long press. Here you can see that there's green. Green out here is very easy to be able to see, especially amongst all of this, all of the green shrubbery here. So on its lowest, let's turn this down to. Yeah, I was on its lowest. So on its lowest, the green on its lowest is 100 lumens, and then I can turn this back up, and then on its highest it's 220 lumens. Then with another long press, we then go on to blue. So actually at the moment we're on its highest. Let's turn this back down. So on its, have I gone the right way? Yes, I have. So on its lowest it is 55 lumens, and then I can turn this all the way up. And then this takes it up to 120 lumens. Now with the blue colour, you do find that there's not as much step ups, and it's certainly at its highest, considering that red and green are both 200 or 220 lumens. 120 lumens with blue light certainly makes a lot more light that you'll find. The interesting thing is, if I come a little bit closer to these with the blue light, you can start to see some of these white details in the trees a lot more. Absolutely amazing. Just missed it. There were a couple of deers there. That is just sod's law. Okay, so on one of my fields, that tree is easily, well, I know it's roughly 250 meters away. It's a huge tree, and it just gets perfectly lit up by this. Let's turn it down. You can just about see it now, whereas when it is on full on the spotlight, super simple to see. So if you're out trying to find animals, let's get back in focus. If you're out trying to find animals on your land with this, it's incredibly easy to be able to spot them. Now when I put this onto the floodlight, hopefully you can see now, I'm just going to raise this up over my head, how much this does fill this area. So let's just make sure, yes, we're on the full mode with this, and you can see just how much this fills this field. Absolutely amazing. And then looking down the hedgerow here, I can probably see nearly as far down there as that tree. In fact, I can easily see that tree. You can see it there. So it does go a good fair distance, even just with the floodlight on this. Absolutely amazing the amount of light that this is kicking out. I had to stop off. I thought I was passing the fishing lake, so this is where I usually stand when I do my little filming spots here by my bench. But looking up to there. When was it? Was it the other day? I did the Olight Baton 4. So there's the tree that we looked at. There's the ornamental little waterfall. It's incredible how much this just floods this area. So we are on the level 7 at the moment. Super easy to see. In fact, we can see right over into the distance. There's a second little fishing lake up there that feeds into this one. Super easy to see. But when I flip this over onto the spotlight mode, look at the beam of that. Look at that. That's absolutely amazing. I love it stuff on stuff like that. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, super easy to see those trees. Over to the opposite side of the lake. The detail on there. So if I do that, look at the reflection on the tree. If I do that, look at the reflection there on the tree. That is crazy. Little ornamental. Oh, sorry, I messed it there. A little ornamental island thing. And then when you look down into the water, look how clear that is. I'm sure the fish are really annoyed with me at the moment. But yeah, incredible the amount that the Mini Marauder pumps out. Now, I think the Marauder Mini is a victim of feature creep, which is a term where someone invents something, decides to go with it, and then somebody goes, but we could add this. Okay, let's add that. Brilliant. Okay, let's get this out. Oh wait, we could also add this. Brilliant. Okay, let's add that. Now let's bring it to market. Well, we could also add this. Okay, and that's what feature creep is. It's just where all of these extra features keep on getting added. Now, in a lot of instances, feature creep is talked about in a negative way, but I think with the Olight Marauder Mini, it actually works in favour of this, because you can have a flashlight that pretty much does everything that you need it to do. If you're trying to find things at long distance, you've got that option. If you're trying to find something that's spread over a larger area and you want a nice flood, you've also got that option. If you're a hunter, or you want to use a specific type of light, so that either it will help your night vision, or you can say protected from bugs, or animals will not be able to see the light that's being produced, but you can, because of the visual spectrums that we're allowed to be able to see. All of that within one light with a huge battery that will last you. Feature creep in this instance has definitely worked for the Olight Marauder, and it's just a mini beast. It really is a mini beast of light. Now, we're in that strange, it should be Black Friday, but it's not Black Friday, it's Black Month beforehand and probably Black Month afterwards, because Black Friday isn't just a one-day event now, it's a whole event that encompasses 3 or 4 separate weeks, because no other company can make everything get sold within one day, period. And Olight have some sales on, of course they do, so there are some links below where you can see exactly how much discount you can get from these. They're exclusive links, so feel free to use those. You can pass them on, send them on to all of your friends. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just share Randy's links, and at the end of the day, I've got to put some new tyres on the Ferrari. It's not as cheap as, no, just kidding. So yeah, there are some links below, some exclusive links, so that the Moorlander EDC community can pick up some great lights at a nice reduced price. So thank you to Olight for sending this out to me. Also, thank you for those links as well. Thank you on behalf of the community. So yes, links below. Some of my social media links are below as well for here on Moorlander EDC and my sister channel Moorlander Tactical. But for now, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. I will say, if you ever come to the Kingdom of the Moorlands, you find these wild animals all over the place. This is a Moorlandese Schnitthound. I will say, whatever you do, don't feed them. They certainly just want to follow you around if you do feed them. Now, what I've noticed about the other coloured lights is, with the white light you shine in front of your eyes, you're like, ooh, and you've got that weird kind of blue dot in front of your eyes. You blind yourself with some of the other ones, you don't get that. And I know that's how light works, and I know that's how our retina works with the cods and the rods and cones at the back. Yes, trained in science. But yeah, it's actually nice to be able to blind yourself and not be blind. That was a weird one. Anyway, so on that note, I think this is coming out on the Wednesday. I'm sure this is coming out on the Wednesday. Hope you're all having a nice hump day. Yeah, see you soon.